18th edition of the Old Fisherman's Trail Challenge brought a capacity 250 trail runners to the Fish Hoek Beach Sports Club on Saturday 11 June for the uprun. Starting on the shores of Hout Bay, the route traversed the spine of the southern peninsula to Hout Bay, following trails which fishermen used to tread as they sought favourable angling conditions. Shortly after a spectacular sunrise, the elite start group made their way down to the beach. Buffeted by a warm berg wind, they were under no illusions that a challenging 24 kilometers lay ahead. Setting off into the rising sun and knowing that the stretch along Fish Hoek Beach would be one of the longest flat sections of the route, spirits were high. Though the prospect of ascending into a hot headwind loomed, Jared Dunn excelled on the course's steep early climbs, distancing his nearest rival, Bucklow. Keeping the leaders in sight, but conceding time on the climb around Trappieskop, Ollie Morris was third on the trails. In the women's race, the 2021 Hout Bay Trail Challenge champion, Kristen Heath, had climbed into a commanding early lead, while the defending Old Fisherman's champ measured her efforts, having recently recovered from illness. Lijan van Niekerk's steady tempo kept Marcel van der Merwe in contention. Further down the field, the less competitive runners were simply loving the morning in the mountains, as was Bucklow, who sped up as the climbing eased off. Bucklow and Dunn built on their advantage towards Silvermine, leaving Morris in third, chased by Peter Carlitz, Carl Nortier, Kenton Miller and co. Just outside the top 10 overall, Heath was running well, extending her advantage over Van Niekerk, though the woman in second was looking more comfortable and had distanced Van der Merwe once they left the steeper pitches behind. Having ascended onto the Silvermine Plateau, the Old Fisherman's Trail Challenge contestants were treated to superb mountain running. Despite the blustery northwest wind nagging at them, there were ample distractions to ensure the kilometers ticked by quickly. Pristine fynbos and breathtaking views, back over Hout Bay and up towards the day's final climb to the summit of Blackburn Ravine. At the sharp end, Dunn and Bucklow were together coming through Silvermine, with Morris in pursuit, while Heath still led the women's race ahead of a resurgent Van Niekerk and Van der Merwe. Having conquered the final climb, from the summit of Blackburn Ravine, Hout Bay came into view. Usually the finish line would be visible on the beach, but the new venue, the riding centre, is tucked away in the urban heart of the village. The final descent was not the place to admire the beauty of the vista below, however. Technical trail required one's full attention. After nearly 1,200 meters of climbing, the descent provided some respite, but it was hardly easy. For exhausted leg, the task of precise foot placement was a difficult necessity. Anyone with the stamina or skill to do so stood to make up time and placings on the final result sheet, which is exactly what the 2022 champion did. Having attacked on the last climb to the top of Blackburn Ravine, Bucklow used his superior technical skills to drop Dunn. By the time he reached East Fort, he had established a 2-minute advantage over Dunn and continued to stretch that, crossing the line in a time of 2 hours and 13 minutes. Dunn finished second, 3 minutes and 11 seconds behind the newly crowned champion Bucklow. Morris completed the 2022 men's podium. Having surged into the lead in the final kilometre, Van Niekerk defended her Old Fisherman's Trail Challenge title in style, completing the course in 2 hours and 48 minutes. Despite leading for 23 of the 24 kilometres, Heath had to settle for second, 1 minute and 1 second behind Van Niekerk. Van der Merwe rounded out the women's podium places with a strong run to finish third. With Coca-Cola and Devil's Peak beers on hand, the trials of the trails were soon forgotten, nursed on by complimentary Myo 2 massages. All told, the 2022 Old Fisherman's Trail Challenge was a successful morning out. Up next is the Muizenberg Trail on Saturday 2 July, before the attention shifts to the iconic Hout Bay Trail Challenge on July the 23rd.